As Herb, you got a lot of work to do with all these new guys. Not only this week, but when training camp opens, it's going to be like putting together a whole new team almost.
Not like it is a whole new team, but you know, adding Amar'e, you know, adding Randolph and the other guys, I think they're going to be able to pick the system up pretty easy. The biggest thing for us is that, you know, we try to get the guys in early, you know, so we can go over parts of our offense and our defense and try to get them acclimated into the system.
And these guys are coming to a place with something to prove, right? I mean, Amar'e Stoudemire among them. He's had a great career already in the NBA, but now he comes to the league's biggest stage as a free agent acquisition.
Well, the atmosphere is definitely a lot different than it was in Phoenix. But he's one of the guys night out, and hopefully he sets an example for the young guys because we have a very young team. So somebody has to set example, and I think him and Raymond will be those two guys to set the standard on how you play night in and night out.
What about the new acquisitions from Golden State? Where do you see them fitting in?
Well, Terry-off, you know, he's a banger. A lot of energy, plays hard, you know, shot blocker. A lot of people don't look at him as a shot blocker, but when he's healthy, he's blocking almost 2 shots a game. The other kid, Randolph, is very talented. You know, he can run your offense for you. That's how good he is, and he's just young, you know, so it's going to take him a little time too, but, you know, very talented kid, and both of those guys should help us out a lot.
Azubuike, when he came to New York early in the season, remember Golden State did a number. I mean, they scored a bundle of points one night, and I think he had 22 in that ballgame. He was impressive.
Well, he's one guy that definitely can score the basketball, whether it's inside, whether it's outside. You know, he puts the ball on the floor. He has 3-point range, and he's a tough matchup. And he's a guy that came along with the other kids from Golden State. It's going to be a plus.
No question about it. Now, this week, what do you look for on this roster? You're getting a chance to look at the draft picks, and obviously Bill Walker, who you saw a lot of toward the end of last year, and Tony Douglas. What are you looking for in terms of development this week with these guys?
Well, sort of to get them into the system. You know, it's always tough for young guys to come in and try to pick up a system because they've been used to playing one way in college for 3 or 4 years. But the thing you look at is how they react, you know, out here on the court, how they react to coaching, you know, how they take instructions, and then, you know, how they play. You know, the big thing is for Tony Douglas to come out here, get a lot of time, you know, learn to run a lot of pick and rolls because he's basically been a scorer, but now he's got to play point guard. And then with Jerome Jordan, he's just blocking shots, running the court, playing. The other kid, Field, tough kid, you know, shoots the ball well, not a bad rebounder.
You mentioned Jerome Jordan, 7-footer. Obviously, the Knicks have not been blocking enough shots the last few years. Might he be an asset there?
I think it's going to take him time to get used to the speed of the game, but I think once he gets used to the speed of the game, I think he'll be fine.
What about Marcus Landry? I know you guys were impressed with him last season, and now he's back.
Solid player. I mean, doesn't do anything that's going to jump out at you, but when you look at the film at the end of the day, he's in the right position on defense. He can knock down 3-point shots. He's going to keep the floor space. A very heady player.
Here's Landry Fields, who had quite a career in the Pac-10 with Stanford. Nice tip in there by Jerome Jordan. Landry Fields is a guy that, at least on the college level, showed he could score the basketball.
He can definitely score the basketball, and it's going to take him time to adjust to the game too. But you know what he brings a lot of toughness. He rebounds the ball well, as I said before. He also can stretch the defense because he has 3-point range. He puts the ball on the floor, so he does a variety of things very well.
Going to Stanford, he should have some smarts.
Yes, definitely.
Nice feed by Fields that time, but an offensive foul called on Leo Lyons. You know, Raymond Felton, who's going to be part of the Knicks organization this coming season, is a guy who's probably going to be your point guard to start the year, I would think, right?
I don't think probably.
So now, as an opponent coach, watching him these last few years, what did you like about him?
His toughness. I mean, night in and night out. Picking you up on defense. And if you watched him a lot this year, you saw him hit big shots at the end of the game. A guy that takes command of the floor. And that's what you want your point guard to do. Take command of the floor. You know, run your offense. Get guys in a position where they're supposed to be at. You know, sit next to a legend. He can tell you that.
Yeah, he's relentless, this guy. You know, he hurt us out. Just kept coming back and getting into paint like that, creating a lot of havoc. So he's strong. You know, very unselfish, looking for that open man.
Yes. And that's what you want for the point guard, to make other people better and to know when to get guys the ball in the right position.
Now, Dan D'Antoni was telling us before the game he really likes the size of his heart. And he is a very competitive person, which most guys are in the NBA, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? From a point guard, that's a big asset.
Some guys have, you know, a little more competitive. The engine, you know, some point guards have engines where they keep going, they put pressure on. He's one of those type of guys where he's going to get up on you on defense. When he catches the ball, he's going to push it up the floor, and he knows where to get a guys the ball in the right position to score.
I think also, Herb, you guys look at where these guys played. Like the man played in North Carolina, so you know they're coming out of a good program.
That's big when you're well coached in college, so you understand the game coming in. And then he's been under some good coaches down there. He was under Larry Brown last year, which is a Hall of Fame coach, and he's always thrived wherever he's been.
Do you feel that the additions athletically on the defensive end will prove to be an improvement for this team? Because these guys all have youthful enthusiasm. They all have skill. Can they apply it on the defensive end?
I think when you look at our team last year as opposed to this year, we were a short team last year. Now all of a sudden we're a very long team. When you had Amar'e, you had Jordan, you had Randolph, you had Terry off. You know, you have Gallo coming back along with Wilson. Now all of a sudden we're a long team, long athletic team, as opposed to, you know, David Lee was the tallest guy last year out there on the court. So we have some people that we can put in front of people and hopefully change some shots, you know, and get some stops on that end.
I see a lot of versatility there too, Herb. Big guys that can handle the ball. So a lot of times they get a rebound, you're in instantaneous transition.
And that's big in our system because we want to get the ball up the court. And if you don't have to get it to the point guard all the time, you know, you can bust it up. Plus, you know, our point guards can shoot the ball well. Tony Douglas is a good shooter. Raymond Felton shoots the ball well. So it just, and plus it puts pressure on you. When you got your four guy bringing it up and you have their four guy trying to guard them, causes mismatches. So the guys can get in, penetrate, kick. You know, kick and shoot the ball.